Alrighty, so I like to do my eyebrows first. I used to like doing my brows after I did my whole foundation routine, but I just have to get the brows done first, so I work around the brows. I'm also very old school when it comes to the brows. I still love using a pencil, and I use the Jordana brown pencil. You can get this at your local beauty supply store. You can also get this at the dollar store for $1, and your brows still look like you use very high-end eyebrow products, but I just like to keep it simple, use a pencil. And I also like to do my brows before I do moisturizer, primer. Like, it's the first thing I do after I have a freshly washed face. And if you guys would like to see an updated brow tutorial, go ahead and let me know down below in the comments. After I fill those bad boys in, I just go in with my ColourPop concealer. I'm gonna go into my box of brushes. I love to call this my box of brushes because it's literally a box with all of my brushes. And I'm going to go in with a flat-ended brush. This brush is super flat. It used to be more fluffy, but I've literally molded it to be really flat. And this is the kind of brush that you want to use when cleaning up your brows because you can get really precise movement. And the brush is so stiff, it's not gonna go anywhere, so it's gonna really clean that brow up and make it look very sharp and groomed. And with this ColourPop concealer, it dries so fast, like so fast. So you have to work fast with the ColourPop concealer. Now on the eyelid, I like to use my Tarte Shape Tape concealer. It's a more creamy consistency, so it's very easy to blend on. I feel like the ColourPop, after it dries down, it's kind of hard to blend and move on top of, and gets really patchy. So after I apply ColourPop right under the brow, then I use the Tarte concealer right on the eyelid. This is a dollar brush by Beauty Creations. Beauty Creations has some really good products. I love their products. With my concealer on my lid, I don't just keep it on my lid. I like to drag it down on the sides of my eye and all in the tear duct area, because once you go on foundation, you don't want it to have spaces where it looks like you did your concealer here, foundation there. I like to make sure that whole space is covered. Now I'm going to leave the eyes alone for a moment and move on to my face. For moisturizer, after cleansing the face really good, I like to go in with the Dove Intensive Cream. And I used to have really oily skin, but it's under control now since I've changed my skin regimen and really have been drinking like a lot of water. It has changed my skin. Now I know you're wondering why I look like I look, okay? I went in with e.l.f. Liquid Illuminator Highlighter. I put like 2 squirts of that in this cream, and it really gives me a nice natural glow under my foundation, and it just really makes me look so porcelain. Give it a try and tell me what you think. After I apply that, you can go in with a primer. Sometimes I don't use a primer. I feel like primer is not always needed, but I like to go in with a nice primer. I'm gonna go with the Step 1 Makeup Forever primer. And I apply just a little of this, just a little, to control the oils. Even though I'll be glowy, it'll be like more of a dewy finish. After moisturizer and primer, I like to go with my foundations. I love these 2 foundations by the Full Spectrum CoverGirl edition. And I just like to apply 2 squirts of the Deep Neutral around the perimeter of my face, and then I go in with the Tan Golden, about 3 squirts of that, and I apply it more to the center of my face, not right under the eye because I like to go with concealer, of course, under the eye, but like in this cheek area, and then I apply the darker area right here. They're my favorite drugstore foundations, but because they're not my exact skin tone, I have to mix them. I'm going to go in with a AOA Studio High Definition brush. This is the best brush ever for buffing in foundation. I mean, seriously, look at that coverage. So I'm just going in with buffing motions. I'm just pushing that product into the skin. And then I'm gonna go in with the lighter one and watch the coverage on this foundation. Like, it completely covered my acne scarring. Such a good coverage for a drugstore foundation. I feel like they're really stepping up their game with the drugstore foundations. And you are getting your bang for your buck, okay? Oh, alrighty, now time for my favorite part, brightening and highlighting. This is gonna make me look 5 times younger, and it's also gonna make me look like I've gotten all 8 hours of my sleep. I like to go in with my ColourPop No Filter Concealer again, and this is in the shade Medium Dark. This has a really nice yellow undertone, and it cancels out any darkness under my eye. And I just apply it like right up under the eye because I like to blend it up and I won't get too much product buildup right under the eye if I start here. So probably about a finger width below the eye, close to the nose. And this really helps with blending, because once you start blending up and you get all that buildup under your eye, that's how it gets cakey, and it's really hard to fix cakiness. So I always say and tell my clients, like, less is more. You want to start off with just a little and then add more as you go. But if you go in with too much product right away, you'll definitely have product buildup, is what I call it. I like to take this concealer all in the T-zone. So I apply it right under the eye, center of the forehead, down the bridge of my nose, and right under the chin. Now I'm going to go in with my beauty blender, and I just like to spray my beauty blender with some finishing spray. Also, damp beauty blenders are great, but I like to get mine a little damp with the setting spray. This just makes it more blendable and easier to blend out. Depending on what concealer you use, you'll like for it to sit for about 30 seconds to a minute if it's a really creamy concealer, but the No Filter ColourPop concealer dries really fast. So after I apply it, I like to go right in with my beauty blender, and I start blending out the edges first so that I can set exactly where that concealer needs to stop. I have a round face, so I don't drag it all the way up. I like to keep everything in the center. And if you guys want to see an updated like highlight and contour routine, like really into depth, depending on your face shape, if we have similar face shapes, I can definitely do that for you. Just let me know in the comments if that's something you'd like to see. And after I blend out the edges, then I blend out the under eye. I go with my Lancome highlighter in the shade Ivory. And to really brighten that eye, I just apply about 3 dots of this, you guys, not a lot. I go in with a little bit more of the ColourPop so that it's not too bright and it creates a flashback. This is just really going to help with that under eye darkness that's kind of stubborn and won't go away. Let me live my best life. And I don't even let that sit at all. I just go right in and blend it. When doing this step, please make sure you get the sides of your nose, because you'll definitely be able to tell under your foundation that you did not have this whole space like cohesive and blended together. Bags be gone. And after that step, I just go back in with my foundation brush and I blend out the edges. Once again, we want this to be cohesive and all blended and well put together. I'm going to go with the ColourPop concealer in the deep dark to contour and warm up the face. This is really going to give my face definition, give it a shape. It's going to look like I got a facelift, okay? I have to apply a little right in the hollows of the cheek. And I don't like to take it all the way down. I already have high cheekbones. As you can see, it's a natural high cheekbone, so I don't like to take it all the way down and create a high cheekbone. It just doesn't look natural that way. So I just apply it right on the hollows of the cheeks and on the sides of the face. around the forehead just to give me a slimmer forehead. Also apply it right under the lip to give me a more pouty lip, a more fuller lip. I apply it right along the jawline, kind of behind the ear and up to the chin. On the sides of the nose, I don't always do the sides of my nose. I like to use a powder really on the sides of my nose, but if I'm in the mood doing a full routine, then I'll definitely do this. Now to blend this out, I like to go in with the butt end of my beauty blender. My uncle calls it a booty blender. I don't really let that concealer sit. The no filter concealer dries down really fast, and I just pounce that concealer right into the face. I like to keep this right on the sides of the face to bring in a shape and create those artificial shadows. When the light hits, it's literally going to create an artificial shadow. As you can see, this side has a shape and this side has no shape. And everywhere I apply that concealer, you want to make sure that you don't forget to blend it out. And boom, that part is done. We are going to move on to powder. Yes! Now I have a very special trick for you that I need you to remember. After you do your liquids, you want to go in and spray your face with your finishing spray. And then you want to fan your face to let it dry down faster. And you don't want any wet spots in your face, so it helps to get a fan, you know. Touché. Now this is something I need you to note down. When doing your powder, less is more, okay? You don't want to go in and bake with a ton of powder on your face. I like to go into my powder just one good time, push it in one good time. On the back of my hand, I'm going to push the powder onto the hand. Look at how full coverage that already is. I need one thin layer to bake with, and then I go in with the second layer. This gives me a nice thin layer, and powder is known for aging you. When they recreate old people in like movies and stuff, they use a lot of powder. It is literally made to make you look aged, okay? So I like to go in with that very thin layer first, and I just push it into the product really good. I'm literally just setting the makeup, making sure that it's all pushed in, it's all buffed in really well. The powder is making sure it controls the oils. I'm not a crazy baker. I don't let myself bake for hours or like even past 10 minutes. I go right into bronzing the skin. I like to go in with my NYX Stay Matte but not flat powder. And with this powder, I like to go with a flat fluffy brush. This is really going to just push the product into the skin. I go in with this powder in the hollows of the cheeks. Once again, I don't bring it all the way up here, and I don't want it to give me a clown effect, which is like when it's really harsh right there on the cheekbone. I just apply blush and highlight in that area. To bronze, I go exactly where I cream contoured at. I'm really just setting that contour with this powder. And then I'm going to go in with my Basic Beauty contour brush. This is perfect. This is perfect for the nose. It has an angle and it's very dense. And I like to use this to contour the nose. When contouring my nose, I start right under the brow, kind of like I'm coming from the brow to create that shadow, and then I just go right down the side of my nose. And I like to go back in with the butt of my beauty blender and just push it in to make it look really natural and take away any harsh lines. Now it's time to brush that bake away. Like I said, I do not bake no long time. I just like to bake just for a little while because I don't want any evidence that I baked. And instead of like doing sweeping motions, I kind of like to use all the product that I baked with and I just push it in. So this is a very fluffy brush. It's not very harsh. It's not moving any of the product. It's just buffing it all in. You can just go in with a little bit more translucent powder when you get done baking and just push it in with a little bit more powder. And this is how you're going to literally stay matte all day long. Okay, now time to blush and bring more definition to the face. I'm going to go in with this Sephora contour blush palette. I'm going to start blushing with this raspberry shade. With blush, I don't go right onto the apples of the cheek. I kind of like to start from where I contoured. And that's why I like using a domed brush so that I can go in circular motions. Start where I contoured and then I go in circular motions and work my way to the apple of the cheek so that it won't be so harsh. And I won't just have like this ball of blush right on the apples of my cheeks. I'm also going in upward motion so that it lifts my face instead of pulling it down. It just lifts everything. Gives me that very affordable facelift. Alrighty, now time for highlight. I'm gonna go in with the highlight out of my Sephora Contour Blush Palette. And I'm gonna highlight the bridge of the nose. I'm using a Sephora highlighting brush to highlight anywhere the light hits. And when you smile, you can see where that light hits right there. I just like to enhance that light, you know? I feel like when I do this step, I get the most like comments saying, oh my gosh, your skin is so good. What do you do? And I'm like, I highlight. And after that, I just go in one more time with the finishing spray and I just go ham, okay? I go ham. I get my face like really wet after this to make sure all of the powders are diluted, everything's skin-like, it just looks really natural and it sets it so well. So really the hard part is done. We're gonna move on to the eyes. I just like to go in with that contour shade out of my Sephora blush kit and a very fluffy brush. This is a Clean Colors blending brush, $1 at my dollar store. Go from the contour of my nose to the outer corner of my eye and blend that out into my contour so that it's all cohesive, it all melts together, it all goes together, it all looks like one. I love my e.l.f. liquid liner. I don't create a wing. If I'm going every day, I don't have time to do that, so I just like to outline my top lash line. This is my favorite liquid liner, by the way. Love this eyeliner. And then I coat my lashes one good time with the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. And I'm going to be using some lashes from my lash line that I'm working on, you guys. My lashes are bomb. Yes, they are. And this is the style Jada. I love this one for everyday wear. I'm going to go ahead and pop these on and then I'll be right back to finish off the rest of the look. So these three are my favorite lip combos for a nude glossy lip. I love to go in with a dark lip liner. This is the Clean Colors lip liner pencil in the shade Cafe. Dollar store, dollar store. I'm telling you, dollar store. Y'all be sleeping on dollar store, man. After I apply the lip liner, I kind of just do a blot blend where I'm just like rolling my lips together until it doesn't look so harsh. It looks kind of blended in. And after the lip liner is all blended out, I go in with this lipstick that I've literally put together myself. It's just a bunch of nudes and very light pink lipsticks to get a nude shade. I know that sucks that I don't have an exact color, but I do have a couple of dupes that I use in the description box if you want to check that out. Then I go with this Anastasia lip gloss in Venus for the extra gloss. Then last but not least, I'm going to go back into the contour shade one more time and a blending brush, and I'm going to smoke out my bottom lash line. This, you guys, makes a difference. It really makes a difference. It really brings the look together and it kind of just fills that empty space under the eye, you know what I'm saying? To give it that ultimate definition and shape, I'm going to go with the L'Oreal Auto Infallible Liner and I'm going to put this in my waterline. Alrighty, and I believe this girl is done, baby. Yes, I am finally done. Alrighty, this is the finished look, you guys. This is my everyday routine. If I don't have time to do a full beat, well, this is kind of a full beat, but if I don't have time to do like all of the colors and just like multiple eyeshadows, I do this for my everyday routine. All of the products will be listed down below, so just in case you guys missed anything on what I used, then check out the description box so that you can see what you might need to add to your makeup kit today. I really appreciate you guys for coming to watch my first makeup tutorial, and I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that I helped you with some really great tips for your makeup routine. So don't forget to comment if you're a new subby. I have giveaway details in the comments. This giveaway will go on until I reach my first 1K subscribers. These are all of the goodies that will be included in this giveaway. And also subscribe to my channel and you'll be entered into the giveaway. 3 easy steps you will be entered, you guys. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, you guys, and comment any video ideas that you would like for me to do on my channel. Thank you guys so much for coming to watch, and I'll see you next week in my next video. Peace.